Let's cut through the absolute garbage that mainstream fitness influencers have been feeding you for years. We have all seen the classic social media videos, the textbook fitness articles, and the generic training programs designed by 6'4" gurus who have never spent a single second dealing with the unique physical reality of a shorter frame. They tell you that building a dense, powerful, attention-grabbing upper body is exactly the same for every single human being on the planet, regardless of height or skeletal leverage. They preach the same repetitive, dogmatic advice. Lie down on a flat bench, grab a standard Olympic barbell, lower it to your chest, and push it back up. They promise you that if you just keep adding heavy iron plates to that bar, your chest will eventually explode into thick, armor-plated slabs of muscle that demand respect the second you walk into a room. But there is a massive, unforgiving reality that they are completely hiding from you. You have been following their exact guidelines, tracking your workouts, eating your meals, and pushing yourself to absolute failure. Yet when you look in the gym mirror, your chest still looks flat. Your shoulders are constantly inflamed, and you feel like you are hitting an invisible genetic brick wall.
You start to believe the online lies that claim shorter men are structurally cursed to look blocky, compact, and completely invisible. But today, the mainstream fitness lie officially dies. The truth is, you do not have a bad chest-building genetic setup. You are simply using an outdated, long-limbed training methodology that is actively working against your physical geometry. I am the Short Captain, and in this video, we are completely ripping up the generic fitness rulebook. We are going to stop letting weak wrists and flat chest structures ruin your visual presence and completely break down the exact high-leverage biomechanical blueprint that shorter men must use to build an explosive, wide 3D chest that commands presence and instantly catches the eye. No generic fluff, no standard filler, just pure physics, brutal mechanical tension, and the ultimate targeted chest protocol specifically engineered to turn your shorter skeletal layout into an absolute muscular cheat code.
To understand exactly how to unlock explosive chest growth in record time, we have to look past the surface level and analyze the actual physics of your skeletal frame. Muscle hypertrophy is not triggered by a specific piece of gym equipment. It is entirely dictated by three core variables: mechanical tension, muscle belly length, and lever efficiency. Taller lifters suffer from what biomechanists call extreme external moment arms. Because their long bones create massive distances between their shoulder joints and the weight, they have to move a barbell through a long, sweeping pathway. While this looks impressive across a room, it creates an incredibly unstable and joint-heavy environment. But as a shorter man, you possess a massive, unfair physical asset that the fitness industry completely ignores. Your levers are highly compact, your center of gravity is naturally low, and your muscle bellies are structurally optimized for rapid lateral expansion. When you trigger hypertrophy in the pectoral complex, your muscle fibers do not stretch out linearly over a long, lanky skeletal system. Instead, they bunch up, compress, and expand aggressively outward. Sports scientists refer to this phenomenon as the cross-sectional bellows effect. A minor, hyper-targeted increase in your pectoral muscle thickness creates an immediate, explosive 3D visual appearance that completely transforms your upper body proportions. While a tall guy has to build massive amounts of raw muscle mass over years just to make his long torso look slightly filled out, a tiny fraction of strategic growth on your compact frame creates an immediate, dominating visual impact. Furthermore, your compact skeletal levers mean your shoulder joints and rotator cuffs are naturally far more stable under heavy loads.
You do not have to deal with the extreme, destructive shearing forces that wreck the joints of taller lifters when they handle heavy iron. This means you can handle heavier relative loads, recover significantly faster, and stimulate a much higher level of mechanical tension without injury. Mechanical tension is the absolute king of muscle growth. By exploiting your shorter leverage points, you can shock your nervous system into rapid, dense chest growth that will leave taller guys staring in absolute disbelief. But you cannot simply walk onto the gym floor and perform random barbell bench presses expecting your chest to magically grow. The human chest, specifically the pectoralis major, is a highly complex, fan-shaped muscle group divided into distinct functional territories: the clavicular head, which forms the upper chest, and the sternocostal head, which forms the mid to lower chest. If you only train them with basic rigid movements, you are leaving more than 70% of your potential upper body thickness completely on the table. To truly build a chest that looks like solid armor plating, we need a multi-dimensional attack strategy.
we must target the specific muscle fibers that lift your visual torso upward, creating a powerful tapered visual illusion that completely shifts how people perceive your height and physical presence.
Let's expose the single biggest trap in the entire fitness industry, the flat barbell bench press. For decades, you have been told that this is the undisputed king of chest exercises. But for a shorter man, the barbell is an absolute mechanical prison. Think about the basic physics of the movement. When you grab a straight iron bar with both hands, your hands are completely locked in a fixed, unyielding position. As you lower that bar toward your sternum, your short, compact arms run out of room before your chest can experience a true, deep, muscular stretch. The straight bar literally slams into your torso, cutting off the most vital part of the eccentric phase, where the highest amount of muscle damage and growth signaling takes place. Because your range of motion is cut short by the bar hitting your chest, your triceps and your anterior deltoids end up stealing the vast majority of the load. You are loading your joints heavily, but your chest fibers are barely receiving any direct mechanical stimulation. To make matters worse, the fixed pathway of a barbell forces your wrists and elbows into a rigid line of pull that does not align with the natural multi-directional orientation of your pectoral fibers. This is exactly why your shoulders feel completely ruined after a heavy chest day, while your chest itself feels completely untouched.
If you want to build a truly massive upper body that turns heads, you must drop the barbell completely and step over to the dumbbell rack. Dumbbells are the ultimate, unrestricted shortcut for shorter lifters. Unlike a rigid bar, dumbbells allow your hands to move completely independently of each other. This means that at the bottom of the movement, you can lower the weights past your torso line, moving into an ultra-deep, agonizing stretch that forces your pectoral fibers to fully extend under load. This deep stretch triggers maximum micro-tearing in the muscle tissue, which is the exact catalyst your body needs to grow new, thick muscle walls. Furthermore, as you press the dumbbells upward, you are not forced to move in a straight, unnatural vertical line. You can actively bring your hands inward toward the center of your body as you reach the top of the lift. This inward convergence perfectly matches the natural anatomical function of the chest, which is horizontal adduction, bringing your upper arm across your torso. By forcing your arms to converge at the peak of the movement, you achieve a level of deep, cramping muscular contraction that is physically impossible to replicate on a barbell.
Now, let's dive into the absolute foundational pillar of our short frame protocol, the incline dumbbell bench press with a mechanical twist. If you want your upper body to look wide, thick, and dominant from the front, which is the exact visual angle people see when you walk into a room or sit across from them at a table, you must prioritize the clavicular head of the chest. When your upper chest is highly developed, it fills out the empty space right below your collarbones. This eliminates that thin, flat look and creates a powerful, upward sweeping visual slope that completely changes your upper body mechanics. It pulls the viewer's eyes up toward your shoulders, creating a powerful visual illusion that makes your entire frame look significantly wider, more commanding, and taller than you actually are. But to execute this movement perfectly on a shorter frame, you cannot just set the gym bench to a standard 45-degree angle like everyone else. A 45-degree angle is far too steep for compact levers. It instantly shifts the vast majority of the heavy load away from your upper chest and drops it directly onto your front shoulders, leading to joint impingement and zero growth. Instead, you must set the bench to a low incline of exactly 15 to 30 degrees. This slight, precise modification perfectly aligns the path of the dumbbells with the natural orientation of your upper chest muscle fibers.
To execute this with flawless form, sit flat on the bench and press your feet firmly into the floor, shoulder width apart, creating a rock-solid, immovable base of power. Pull your shoulder blades back and pin them hard against the bench pad to fully expose your chest wall. Hold two heavy dumbbells at your shoulders with a neutral 45-degree grip, meaning your palms are turned slightly inward toward each other rather than fully flared out. This protects your rotator cuffs and keeps your elbows perfectly stacked directly underneath your wrists. Now, lower the weights slowly, taking a full 3 seconds on the eccentric phase. Do not rush the descent. Feel your upper chest stretch completely at the absolute bottom of the movement, letting the dumbbells dip slightly lower than your chest line. From this deep, powerful stretch, drive the weights upward and slightly inward, focusing on squeezing your biceps hard against the sides of your chest at the top of the movement. Stop the dumbbells just before they touch each other to maintain continuous, agonizing tension on the working muscle. Perform 4 full sets of 8 to 10 heavy, controlled repetitions, focusing on the deep, deep burn.
To supplement this devastating compound movement, we immediately transition into our secondary chest weapon, the flat dumbbell fly-to-press fusion. This is a highly specialized hybrid exercise specifically engineered to exploit the high eccentric strength and joint stability of shorter arms while flooding the pectoral complex with massive metabolic stress. Standard dumbbell flies are an incredible movement for stretching the chest, but as the weights get heavier, they place a massive, unsafe amount of leverage stress on the elbow joints at the absolute bottom of the lift. By fusing a fly and a press together, we create an ultra-safe, high-tension hybrid that will force your chest to grow rapidly. Lie flat on a bench holding 2 dumbbells directly over your chest with your palms facing each other in a strict neutral grip. Lower the weights outward in a wide, sweeping arc, keeping a slight soft bend in your elbows as if you were wrapped around a massive tree trunk. Lower the weights until you feel a profound, deep stretch across your entire sternal chest wall.
Now here is where the mechanical twist happens. Instead of trying to fly the heavy weights back up in that same wide arc, which wastes mechanical energy and risks shoulder injury, you are going to bend your elbows at the bottom, pulling the dumbbells tightly into your sides into a close grip press position. From there, explosively press the weight straight back up to the starting position using pure raw chest contraction. This allows you to safely use significantly heavier dumbbells than you could ever manage on a standard fly, maximizing the eccentric stretch while completely protecting your joints. Lower down slowly as a fly, pull inward, and press up hard. This movement floods the lower arm and pectoral blood vessels with massive amounts of fluid, creating that deep, muscular fullness that instantly fills out your shirts. Run this for 3 intense sets of 12 repetitions, keeping the execution smooth and rhythmic without ever losing tension. Now let's address the area that completely dictates your visual width from the side, the inner and outer sternal chest borders. Many guys complain that their chest looks completely flat and boxy when viewed from a side angle, or that they lack that deep, sharp, muscular valley running down the center of their chest. To fix this flat appearance and build absolute 3D density, we must utilize the power of constant cable tension with the standing low-to-high cable crossovers. Free weights are incredible for building mass, but they suffer from a fatal flaw dictated by gravity. At the top of a press or a dumbbell fly, when your arms are fully extended, the tension completely drops off your chest and is transferred directly into your bones and joints. Cables completely solve this problem. Because the resistance is pulled from an adjustable pulley system, the tension remains completely horizontal and continuous through every single millimeter of the movement. Setting the pulleys to the lowest position allows us to trace the exact upward and inward path of the lower chest fibers as they attach to the sternum. Stand directly in the center of a cable tower machine. Grab the handles and take one large, deliberate step forward to pull the weights off the stack, creating immediate tension. Place one foot forward in a staggered stance to lock in your core and prevent your torso from swaying. Lean your upper body slightly forward, pull your shoulders back, and start with your arms extended down and back behind your hips, feeling an immediate deep stretch across the lower portion of your chest. Now, keeping your elbows locked in a slight fixed bend, sweep your hands upward and inward in a powerful controlled arc until your hands meet directly in front of your face at chin level. At the top of the movement, cross your wrists slightly over each other, squeezing your chest together as hard as humanly possible for a full agonizing second. This extreme peak contraction forces blood violently into the inner pectoral walls, building those deep muscular valleys that project immense physical capability. Slowly lower your hands back down along the exact same path, taking 3 full seconds to control the weight. Perform 3 sets of 15 repetitions, ensuring you focus entirely on the deep internal squeeze rather than just moving the weight stack. The final piece of this high-leverage chest puzzle is the ultimate finisher designed to exhaust every single remaining muscle fiber, the weighted parallel bar dips. Shorter men absolutely dominate the parallel bars because our compact levers and lower center of gravity give us unmatched structural balance, mechanical efficiency, and joint safety. While a tall guy with long, lanky limbs looks incredibly awkward on a dip station and risks tearing his labrum, you can load this movement significantly heavier and use it as a massive mass-building weapon. Dips are often called the upper body squat because they stimulate an incredibly high amount of muscle activation across the lower pectorals, triceps, and anterior shoulders simultaneously. To hyper-target the chest rather than the triceps, you must use the short captain modification. Step up onto the dip bars, lock your arms out, and lift your body off the platform. Now, instead of keeping your torso perfectly upright, which shifts all the work to your arms, you must aggressively lean your upper body forward at roughly a 30-degree angle. Tuck your chin tightly against your chest and bend your knees, crossing your ankles behind you. As you lower your body down, allow your elbows to flare out slightly to the sides rather than keeping them pinned back.
Lower yourself down under strict control until your hands are aligned with your lower chest, experiencing a massive, deep, muscular stretch across the lower pec line. From this absolute bottom position, drive your body explosively back up to the top using pure chest power, stopping just short of a complete elbow lockout to keep 100% of the mechanical tension loaded onto your chest fibers. Your chest will be screaming, and blood will radically pump into your upper body, forcing your veins to push hard against the skin. Do not stop until your muscles hit absolute structural failure. Execute 3 total rounds of this brutal finisher, aiming for 10 to 12 controlled reps per set. If your body weight is not heavy enough to push you to failure in that rep range, strap a heavy iron plate to a lifting belt around your waist and load it up.
Let's recap the exact short frame protocol we just built. You are going to run this dedicated chest circuit twice a week, ideally at the start of your upper body or push training days when your energy levels are at their absolute peak and your nervous system is completely fresh. First, the incline dumbbell bench press on a low 15 to 30 degree slope for 4 sets of 8 to 10 heavy reps to hyper-target the upper clavicular chest and build massive visual width. Second, the flat dumbbell fly to press fusion for 3 sets of 12 reps to maximize the eccentric stretch safely and introduce extreme metabolic stress. Third, the standing low to high cable crossovers for 3 sets of 15 reps with a 1-second pause at the peak crossover to build the deep inner chest valleys. And finally, the forward lean weighted parallel bar dips for 3 sets to absolute failure to hammer the lower chest borders and force maximum upper body density. Stop listening to the black pill excuses online that claim shorter guys can't stand out, build presence, or make an impression on women. The entire fitness game is not about raw height, it is about creating undeniable visual dominance through flawless muscular proportions, compact density, and sheer physical power. When you build a massive armor-plated chest using high-leverage physics, you are weaponizing your exact genetic layout. You are creating an instant visual marker of evolutionary strength and biological dominance that commands respect from men and undeniable attraction from women the absolute second you walk into any room. Put this routine to work starting this week. Stop making lazy excuses about your height or your genetics and start actively exploiting your massive mechanical shortcuts. If you want more high-leverage fitness blueprints specifically engineered to maximize the shorter frame and build a superhero body that commands presence everywhere you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. I am the Short Captain. Drop your current chest size, your wrist size, or your ultimate fitness goals in the comments down below. Stay disciplined, train heavy, and I will see you in the next video. Keep conquering.